See the Soldier Boy story? It's a classic.
Imagine Captain America, but with vices and a foul mouth. That's Soldier Boy, people. This incredibly popular character from The Boys TV series is insanely powerful, and the only suit that can go toe-to-toe with the invincible Homelander, and send him flying like a ragdoll. Soldier Boy, aka Benjamin, comes from a harrowing past. During World War II, he was converted into a super soldier when Frederick Vought injected him with the Boys' version of the super serum, Compound V. After serving the country for years, Soldier Boy was betrayed by his own team called Payback, allowing the Russians to catch him and experiment on him for 40 long years. The torture practically converted Soldier Boy into a nuclear reactor, and made him the only super weapon that can kill Homelander. The Boys freed Ben from the Russian lab, and struck a deal that he would kill Homelander, and in exchange, the Boys would help him get revenge on all those who betrayed him. The twist in the tale comes when Homelander is revealed to be Soldier Boy's son. Want to know more about this soup who does not age and is the human version of Godzilla? Come join us as we explore Soldier Boy's deadly powers. Let's begin, shall we? But before we get into our explanation, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us it means a lot. Thank you. Let's begin. Number 1. Radiation-infused energy blasts. The Soviets subjected Soldier Boy to inhuman experiments, which included testing his body with extreme levels of radiation. That not only made Soldier Boy immune to radiation, but also transformed him into a nuclear reactor. Soldier Boy can release radiation blasts from his chest that suck the Compound V dry out of any other soup, and even render them powerless. Soldier Boy channels his radiation release ability usually through powerful beams or a nuclear detonation-like blast, depending on his emotional stability and the invincibility of his opponent. Soldier Boy's ability to emit energy blast is revealed during his escape from the Russian facility in Season 3, Episode 4, where he inadvertently releases a powerful blast right after being freed by Billy Butcher. Soldier Boy's chest starts glowing a bright orange, and out comes a powerful beam of radiation that sends the extremely durable Kimiko flying through concrete walls. Later, Kimiko reveals she doesn't have her powers anymore. The radiation beams last several seconds before Soldier Boy's energy is depleted, and he often changes the direction by moving his body, creating an omnidirectional beam of destruction. When he unleashed his destructive blast during the Herogasm event, it obliterated the TNT twins' home and killed the attendants at the event. In the final fight of the season, if Queen Maeve hadn't flown him out of Vought Tower, the entire high-rise would have been reduced to rubble. Soldier Boy also, of course, is immune to his own nuclear explosions, though preparing for a powerful blast might make him wince in pain, like he did while preparing to kill Homelander in the Vought Tower. Number 2. Superhuman Strength. Even before the Russians experimented on Soldier Boy, the Compound V injections granted him super strength, making him the strongest weapon in Vought's international arsenal. In fact, Homelander himself admits this, saying, "You were the only one that was nearly as strong as me." Designed after Captain America, Soldier Boy comes with an immensely heavy shield, which only he can wield. He can also throw cars and withstand the combined efforts of the former Team Payback. Soldier Boy's strength is showcased during the intense battle at the Herogasm event, where he fights multiple soups, including Homelander. Soldier Boy's face-off with Homelander is the most iconic testament to his strength. He headbutts the psychopathic soup and punches him several times, all the while enduring the mighty Homelander's blow. He's able to pull Homelander by his cape and pin him to the ground, albeit with some help. Soldier Boy could also hold off Homelander's fists and could even send him crashing into a wall. Soldier Boy is so strong that upon evaluating his strength, Homelander was fearful of facing him in combat. During the final fight in Season 3, Soldier Boy sends Starlight crashing into the ceiling and Kimiko into the floor. With his superior strength, Benjamin was also able to beat Billy Butcher to a pulp and knock him out, even when Butcher was empowered by the V-24 compound. It took the joint efforts of Starlight, Mother's Milk, and Kimiko to be able to restrain Soldier Boy, but he still overpowered them. Number 3. Enhanced durability. Soldier Boy has superhuman durability, which is tested when the Russians fired rifle rounds inside his mouth, tried to burn him with oxyacetylene flame, attempted to cut him with power saws, and even tried to pierce his eyes with blades. In fact, during his combat with the Boys, he's able to withstand a prolonged laser beam from Billy Butcher, getting only a cut in the face in the process. That too because it was a sustained blast that went on for several seconds. He also endured several heat vision beams from Ryan and then Homelander, and came out unscathed. Moreover, he was able to get up every time after Homelander landed his punishing punches on Benjamin. During their face-off, Soldier Boy was able to endure attacks from each member of the Payback team, including a powerful blast from the TNT twins. Also, Homelander warned Black Noir that not even his strength and sharpened blades could pierce Soldier Boy's durable skin. Also, the fact that Soldier Boy can withstand his own radiation blasts pretty much sums up how durable he is.
Put it down. Now.
You're that
Number
asshole.
4. Slowed aging. Benjamin was transformed into Soldier Boy during World War II with the original Compound V, and currently he's over 100 years old. His slow aging is implied through his appearance remaining almost the same since his turning into a super soldier. The historical footage shown of his activities from 1984 in Season 3, Episode 3 also shows that Soldier Boy looks only slightly older than he did in the 80s because of his slow aging. It's possible that because Soldier Boy got the original Compound V, which was much more potent than the current one, he got stronger powers and slowed aging. After being held captive by the Russians for 40 years, he looks slightly more aged than before. The character legend also says that Soldier Boy hasn't aged since 1984. In the 80s, Ben was in his 30s, and in the current timeline of the show, he seems to be in his 40s, which reveals how slow his aging process is. Number 5. Excellent combat skills. Soldier Boy is a master combatant, all thanks to his military training. During the Nicaragua attack in 1984, Soldier Boy was able to hold off the opponent's army by using his shield and excellent hand-to-hand combat. He could promptly overpower a bunch of Special Forces soldiers with his combat skills. Soldier Boy's fighting prowess did not deteriorate even after 40 years of confinement in the Russian facility. After his reappearance, he turned out to be a formidable force against the Supes, especially Homelander. During their first face-off, Ben was able to defend himself in a physical fight against Homelander for a while by evading his blows and launching counterattacks. During his face-off with Billy Butcher, Soldier Boy was able to land a few solid punches and topple him on the floor. Butcher is also a trained combat veteran, and during this fight, he was even empowered by V-24. Despite that, Ben was able to punch Butcher away and send him crashing to the floor. Number 6. Tactical genius. Soldier Boy's tactical mind is evident in his strategic approach to hunting down members of Payback. Since escaping the Russian confinement, Soldier Boy was guided by his only agenda of exacting revenge upon his former Payback team members who betrayed. He agrees to team up with Butcher and Hughie to take down Homelander, in exchange for confronting Crimson Countess first, and eventually killing her. He tactically makes Butcher secure the location of the TNT twins, and then proceeds to kill them and destroy the mansion. The next target on his list was Mindstorm, who he interrogated thoroughly like a tactical genius, before brutally killing the telepath. But before that, when Mindstorm trapped Hughie in a nightmare, Soldier Boy refused to help him, saying it ain't worth the risk, and instead convinced Hughie to help him catch Mindstorm. Number 7. Psychological manipulation. Soldier Boy's ability to manipulate others is shown in his interactions with Butcher and Hughie. In Season 3, Episode 6, when Butcher and Hughie told him about killing Homelander, Soldier Boy agreed, but with a condition. The boys must first help him track down his former Payback teammates. His exact words were, "You help me find the rest of the team, and I'll help you find the Homelander." Soldier Boy realizes he's a powerful ally to Hughie and Butcher, and he's the strongest among them all, and the only one who has the potential to kill Homelander. Hence, Soldier Boy makes the boys agree to his deal, as he seeks vengeance from the Payback members, who betrayed him and sold him out to the Soviets 40 years ago. When Butcher was rendered unconscious by Mindstorm, Soldier Boy manipulated Hughie into helping him track down his Payback teammates instead of saving Butcher. "You help me finish this, I'll help you kill Homelander." Butcher would have given up his life for that in a heartbeat, he told Hughie in Season 3, Episode 7. In the final battle of Season 3, Soldier Boy tries to manipulate Butcher by saying, "You are weaker than Homelander." He also psychologically manipulated his Payback teammates into doing what he wanted in the past, threatening to kill them if they stepped out of line. Number 8. Resilience to torture. Soldier Boy's resilience is highlighted through his survival and resistance to torture during his long captivity in Russia. The flashbacks revealed that the Russians attempted to control or weaponize his powers, putting him through inhuman experiments in order to discover the source of his invulnerability. They also documented his durability to anything that they tortured. The Russians shot him in the mouth, forced him to drink sulfuric acid cocktails, and even burned his skin with a blowtorch. The footage did show Soldier Boy restrained and in extreme discomfort, but not one of those torturous experiments managed to physically harm him. In turn, the extreme radiation exposure converted his body into a nuclear reactor of sorts. Number 9. Radioactive Aura. The experiments with radiation made permanent changes to Soldier Boy's physiology, and now he constantly releases high amounts of radiation from his body. Thus, being in Soldier Boy's vicinity constantly can give someone, even a soup, radiation poisoning. The radiation generated by his body fluctuates depending on his mental state. For example, when Soldier Boy talked about his traumatic past, he generated a high level of radiation, which was picked up by Hughie's Geiger counter. Number 10. Disempowerment. Soldier Boy's radiation beams have the ability to strip the Supes of their powers. The radioactive beams are powerful enough to dry out the compound V from the bloodstream of the Supes, practically killing them, or even rendering them powerless sometimes. The Supes and others who attended the Herogasm event and managed to survive were deprived of their powers. Following Soldier Boy's radiation meltdown, Kimiko and Maeve were turned into normal humans, which was temporary, as Kimiko was able to regain her powers by taking compound V again. Soldier Boy's disempowerment ability is quite dangerous for Supes, for more than one reason. If a Supe has powers that changes their physical form, and if this Supe's powers are removed by Soldier Boy at such a time, they would be stuck in the changed form forever. This was witnessed with Termite, who remained in his shrunken state after Soldier Boy's Herogasm explosion.
Butcher, wake up!
No, you're wasting your time.
Number 11. Hidden trauma activation. The psychological impact of Soldier Boy's reappearance and actions is seen through the character of Black Noir, whose traumas are triggered by his new encounters with him. In the 80s, when Soldier Boy was the leader of Payback, he was brutal and abusive toward his team members, including Black Noir. When his teammates turned on him during the Nicaragua attack, Soldier Boy thrashed Black Noir with his shield and destroyed half of his face and brain, forcing him to wear a mask for the rest of his life. In Season 3, Episode 7, Soldier Boy's resurfacing reminded Black Noir of the brutality he was subjected to by the Supe in the flashback sequences. Seeing Soldier Boy also makes Mother's Milk furious, as Soldier Boy was responsible for the death of MM's parents during a confrontation in Harlem. Number 12. Toxin immunity. Soldier Boy has an extraordinary resistance to toxins and lethal substances. During his confinement at the Russian laboratory, Soldier Boy was given sulfuric acid mixtures, which had no effect on him. He's also immune to an anesthetic halothane gas, being able to inhale it and exhale it without any effects. Soldier Boy is merely rendered unconscious by Novichok, which is one of the most lethal toxins in the world. However, it seems that Soldier Boy may have developed further resistance to Novichok as well, because when the boys tried to knock him out with it later, it seemed to have little effect on him. On a lighter note, Soldier Boy once sipped Bill Cosby's spiked drinks, and simply thought it's a very strong peg instead of getting completely knocked out. Number 13. Regenerative healing. It's true that Soldier Boy is almost invincible, but he did receive a gashing cut on his face, following a prolonged heat vision blast from Butcher. However, in Soldier Boy's later appearances, when Grace Mallory captured him, the wound on his cheek had disappeared. This seems to suggest that Soldier Boy has some form of regenerative healing. Number 14. Radiation immunity. The high levels of radiation exposure when Soldier Boy was held captive by the Russians turned this Supe into a nuclear reactor. His body emits scary levels of radiation all the time, which is also affected by his emotional stability. When Ben feels angry or frustrated, the radiation level goes up, signaling an outburst. The fear of being put into confinement again triggered such a reaction, and Ben started generating so much radiation that his body began smoking. Ben is immune to his own radiation blasts, which are powerful enough to destroy high-rise buildings and entire city blocks. Soldier Boy can tolerate 20 sieverts of radiation, which is a lot higher than the lethal radiation dosage for humans.
Bullshit. This ain't just anyone. It's Soldier Boy.
Number 15. Tentative psychic immunity. Soldier Boy seemed to resist Mindstorm's attempts to mind control him during their face-off in Nicaragua, but Mindstorm was later able to influence Billy, revealing his powers are working just fine, and Soldier Boy may have briefly been able to resist them. This suggests the possibility that Soldier Boy may have some sort of psychic immunity. However, during another face-off, Soldier Boy made sure that he wrapped Mindstorm's face with a bag, so that he couldn't make eye contact with him, suggesting he still very much fears the telepath's mind-controlling ability. Number 16. Shield expertise. Soldier Boy's trusty weapon is his shield. It's so heavy that normal humans can't lift it, but Soldier Boy can do so with ease. The durability of the shield and Soldier Boy's strength make the duo a formidable combo that can cripple any powerful Supe. In the 80s, he fought against the Russian soldiers with his shield, until he was captured and separated from it. While Ben uses it for defense, he also uses the triangular shield as a blunt weapon to thrash his opponents. Soldier Boy shattered Black Noir's skull and damaged his brain by bashing him with the shield. Even the most powerful Supe, Homelander, was stunned for a while when Soldier Boy struck him with the shield. Number 17. Knife proficiency. Soldier Boy is an expert knife combatant, as he carries an eagle-headed combat knife on his right hip. Some fans have pointed out that Soldier Boy's knife seems to be a cross between an E.G. Waterman World War II combat knife and a Vietnam MEU Special Forces knife. Soldier Boy's combat knife can be used for both throw attacks and for direct hits. He's so good at throwing knives that he destroyed Mindstorm's eye by targeting him from a great distance, without hitting Hughie, who was standing near Mindstorm. Number 18. Intimidation. Soldier Boy has an intimidating presence and makes those around him rather wary and scared. Right after he was released by Billy Butcher from his confinement chamber in Russia, Soldier Boy seemed to threaten everyone in the room just with his presence, and Mother's Milk started sweating profusely, remembering how Soldier Boy had killed his family. Even Homelander was afraid of fighting Soldier Boy, and remained scared of him after their first face-off. All the members of Payback were also rather scared of Soldier Boy when he was their leader, because he was the strongest in the team, abused them ruthlessly, and intimidated them with threats. Number 19. Indomitable Will. Soldier Boy is shown to be stubbornly fearless since his creation during World War II. After surviving 40 years of torture, he still retains that persona, and now, in fact, he's more badass with his indomitable will. Having been alive for over a century, and because of his durability, Soldier Boy admits that he fears nothing, except perhaps the thought of going back into a coma, and he would do anything to prevent it. Number 20. Expert Marksmanship. Soldier Boy is also a remarkable marksman, showing great accuracy with gun attack. In Season 3, Episode 7, he successfully shot a priest and a crazy nun who were apparently brainwashed by Mindstorm by shooting them in the heads, even when the nun was clinging onto Hughie's back and using him as a human shield. In the show, it's also implied that Soldier Boy apparently took the shot on JFK.
You ever see the Soldier Boy story? It's a classic.
Marvelous verdict. To sum it up, Soldier Boy is pretty much invincible, but he too has his share of weaknesses. Soldier Boy's PTSD is triggered when he hears the Russian song named Escape, which was played in the labs where the Russians experimented on him for 40 years. When reminded of his trauma, Soldier Boy seems to lose control of his radiation-generating powers and turns into an explosive form. Soldier Boy's inclusion in the Boys series does add a lot of drama and tension to the lore. What do you think of this nuclear reactor of a character? Please share with us in the comment section below, and if you liked our video, please stay tuned for more marvelous content. See you super soon. And if you liked our content, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to us if you haven't already. Have a good one and be safe. Thanks everyone.